Welcome to the Zero Waste Meetings and Events webinar presented to you by the Office of Sustainability. We hope this session will teach you how to hold a zero waste event and get recognized for your work. If you have any questions regarding the presentation, please contact us at livinggreen@ucsf.edu. From small-scale office meetings to large campus gatherings, meetings and events can be extremely resource-intensive. Meetings thus become stepping stones for sustainability across campus, creating local market demand for reductions in the use of toxic materials, the production of waste and energy gas emissions, and the use of water and energy. Every purchase choice you make has an impact on the environment. As the one ultimately responsible for calling for and/or funding a meeting, you have the unique opportunity to act as a major decision maker over certain large aspects of the meeting, including whether a meeting is planned with sustainability principles in mind or not, and ensure your event is executed in an environmentally responsible manner. So, why focus on meetings and events? Well, at UCSF, catered events on the UCSF campus represent an annual expense of about $4.5 million. The America to Go supply chain management figures show that there are approximately 4,500 catered events. That's around 90 a week. UCSF has a goal to be zero waste by 2020 and carbon neutral by 2025, and it's important to get the entire UCSF staff involved in their efforts to meet these goals. 90 catered events per week could have the potential to produce unnecessary waste and energy expenditures. It's important to rethink the choices we make when choosing food for certain events. When it comes to ordering food, we recommend purchasing through America to Go, which is our online procurement tool. Those with green leaves are green caterers who have passed a set of fairly rigorous specifications to ensure that they are aware of the different offerings for sustainable food and provide only compostable San Francisco recyclable items. Eating from the bottom of the food chain is more environmentally efficient than eating from the top. Pound for pound, beef production generates 13 times more greenhouse gases than chicken and 57 times more than potatoes. When planning for your next catered meal, opt for vegetarian or vegan options. If you must choose meat, consider getting one with a lower carbon footprint, such as chicken, or experimenting with other plant proteins such as tofu, tempeh, or lentils. Here are our top 10 guidelines for healthy meetings. Number 1. Provide fruits and or vegetables each time the food is served. Number 2. Choose whole grain options. Number 3. Serve vegetables and lean protein options. Number 4. Serve dressings and condiments on the side. Never use single-use packaging waste. Number 5. Provide water, preferably tap water, instead of juice or sweetened drinks. Never use water bottles and avoid buying canned beverages. Number 6. Serve fresh fruit instead of dessert. Number 7. Serve small portions and pre-cut sandwiches. This helps us reduce our overall food waste. Number 8. Select options low in added sugar and salt. You can also support the UCSF Healthy Beverage Initiative by providing flavored or fruit-infused waters. Number 9. Plan activities that require your attendees to move. And number 10. Follow green event and zero waste guidelines. UCSF has a goal to be zero waste by 2020, so it's important that we reduce, reuse, and compost as much as possible. When scheduling a room for an event or a meeting, ensure that you have all the appropriate bins and offer signage to make sure that your waste from the event is properly sorted. You can submit a service request from facilities and they will ensure that you get all the bins necessary. Encourage an announcement in advance to remind people what is compostable and what is recyclable. Be sure to use Food for UCSF students to provide food for students after the meal. We will touch back on this initiative a little later in the presentation. Food waste is a huge problem in America, not just during the holidays, but all year round. A study by Dana Gunders from the NRDC has shown us that 40% of the food grown in America never gets eaten. Food gets wasted in every step of the process in the farms, during transport, at grocery stores, and in our homes. Some tips to reduce your food waste include number one, ordering less. Oftentimes, those that RSVP forget or don't come to the event, so we suggest ordering two-thirds of what you think you might need. And number two, the idea of massive portions is due to the restaurant culture. So serve smaller portions at your events, such as pre-cut sandwiches. You should always try to make sure that your event is as zero waste as possible. However, we recognize that there are situations where this might be a bit more difficult. If you do end up having an excess of waste, try to compost as much as possible. Remember, if it was once alive, it goes in the green bin for compost. Did you know that nearly half of the solid waste produced globally is organic? Much of it ends up in landfills. There, it decomposes in the absence of oxygen and produces the greenhouse gas methane, which is up to 34 times more powerful than carbon dioxide over a century. While many landfills have some sort of methane management, it is far more effective to divert organic waste to composting. Composting ranges in scale from backyard bins to industrial operations. Here in San Francisco, Recology does a very good job at both educating the public on the benefits of composting as well as serving their bins. The basic process is the same, ensuring sufficient moisture, air, and heat for the bacteria and fungi to feast on organic material. Rather than generating methane, the composting process converts organic material into stable soil carbon while retaining water and nutrients of the original waste matter. The result is carbon sequestration as well as the production of fertilizer that can then be used all throughout California. When you're thinking about plates, cups, and utensils, reusables are always the best. However, we know that storage or transportation might be difficult, so we recommend you opt for compostable products. If you are unable to purchase compostable, recyclables are the next best thing. It can be difficult to sort your waste correctly and quickly when your cup is recyclable, your food scraps are compostable, your silverware is garbage, and there is no clear signage to tell you what goes where. This can lead to bin contamination, and it's a huge problem at UCSF since having recyclables or garbage in the compost makes the entire compost bin unsuitable for processing. While there are many pros to using compostable plates and cutlery, what would have to be the convenience of it when it comes to disposal? Using compostable cutlery, cups, and plates when combined with signage ensures that guests can simply toss all of the products used and any food scraps into the green bin and avoid any confusion or bin contamination. We encourage signs at the point of pickup to let people know what is compostable and what is recyclable. Certified compostable products can be found at worldcentric.org. Now we will briefly touch base on Bear Buy. All paper plates and cups are compostable, so it is not necessary that you buy them specifically from WorldCentric. However, do make sure that they are not lined with plastic or styrofoam, and always remember to double check what the material is. You can search through numerous vendors to get the best price for your budget. Here we are looking for paper plates at Office Max. So you click on the store that you would like to purchase from, and you type in your desired item. Now you can scroll through the list and click on your selected choice. There is one plate by Dixie which is advertised as a paper product, but it is coated with styrofoam. Styrofoam is neither recyclable nor compostable, so sadly it must be thrown in the landfill. Stay away from these types of products. Solo and WorldCentric are two options that we recommend. In Bear Buy, only WorldCentric cutlery are compostable. You can tell by how these utensils have a hole cut out from the handle. This is to ensure that Recology staff are able to easily identify any plastic utensils during the sorting process. When they see these utensils with the holes, they can rest assured that they are compostable and will degrade in the facilities. If you're not purchasing on Bear Buy, There's a third-party certification called BPI that offers compostable products, so that can be another option for you. Another thing to note is the difference between compostable and biodegradable. Many food packaging companies label their bio-based cups or plates as biodegradable, but in reality, they are neither compostable nor recyclable. These products are blends of bio-based resins and petroresins and sadly go to the landfill. The only thing that the green bins accept are compostable products. These are items that have been shown to degrade in a short period of time in a commercial compost facility. One way to contribute to our carbon neutrality goal is to have greener meetings. Encourage the use of video conferencing to eliminate travel emissions. If in person meetings are necessary, encourage your guests to carpool or take the UCSF shuttles. Additionally, if you have an event where you need to display items, try to avoid a flip chart since they use paper that eventually gets wasted. Instead, use projectors, Zoom meetings, and a whiteboard, which is available in many conference rooms. When it comes to gifts and decorations, streamers and balloons are not compostable. Most times they end up in the landfill, or worse, in the water. We prefer that you use reusable banners or zero waste decorations, such as paper pom poms or a paper banner. Eco friendly gifts include small plants that eventually sequester carbon as they grow, used books, or reusable utensils and mugs. Now let's talk a little about food waste and food insecurity. Here at UCSF, 40% of students don't get enough to eat simply because they can't afford to buy food. If you do have leftover food, sign up to become a food provider with the Food for UCSF app. Rather than throwing the food away, staff can easily invite students to take advantage of a free meal. Students who sign up for the app receive alerts via text message when there is free food available. Then they drop in and pick up the food. Signing up to become a food provider allows us to tackle the issues of food waste and food insecurity at the same time. Copia is another service that picks up from food from larger events and distributes it to other organizations. Donors pay $20 to $40 plus 55 cents or less per pound of food picked up. The question comes down to how much food you have left over. If it's a little, we recommend you opt for the Food for UCSF app route. If it's looking like it's a lot of leftover food, maybe Copia is the way to go. Thank you for participating in this webinar. We do offer an event planner certification for individuals who plan events often and would like to get certified and recognized by the Chancellor at our annual Sustainability Award ceremony this spring. We offer bronze, silver, gold, and platinum certifications based on the amount of points from our checklist. This is your chance to get recognized for your efforts in reducing waste and carbon emissions and be more engaged in the campus. If you are interested, please contact us at livinggreen@ucsf.edu. Now let's talk about some frequently asked questions. One common question is, what is the difference between biodegradable products and compostable products? This is a great question and probably one of the most common ones. A compostable product is a material that breaks down fully, meaning there is no visible, distinguishable, or toxic residue left in a specific amount of time under certain conditions. The American Society for Testing of Materials sets the standard for what is considered compostable, and the products themselves can vary greatly. On the other hand, the term biodegradable has no legal definition. If something is biodegradable, it means that it will break down over some period of time, but that time is undefined and not held to a specific standard. The plastic industry often claims their products are biodegradable, which they are if you're talking in centuries. Unfortunately, that doesn't help us out with our goals. Products labeled as biodegradable but not compostable do not necessarily meet composting standards and should not be disposed of in a composting system. Another common question is, what is an alternative to bottled water? It's challenging to carry individual water bottles or juices for events, so we recommend opting for a 5-gallon drink dispenser and adding your favorite fruit to make infused water. The Office of Sustainability has 2 water dispensers like the one shown here that can be lent out at no cost. If you wish to borrow one, simply email us with plenty of time in advance so we can reserve it for you. You can also rent them out from food services and nutrition or ask your caterer to provide you with one. San Francisco has some of the cleanest tap water in the country, delivered in a very clean system to campus, so we highly encourage you all to use tap water. Orange slices, cucumber, and mint all make for tasty combinations. Bring along some compostable cups and have the guests serve themselves. If you have any more questions, please email us at livinggreen@ucsf.edu, and we will do our best to get your question answered.